welcome back to Chaos Make Up Your Face, where I teach you how to make up your face. Today we're going to be doing a get ready with me. I really don't have any rhyme or reason for what I am doing. Wanted to sit down, do my makeup, get it on camera, and show you guys. If you guys noticed, I do have a new background, and if you guys were curious on how I made it, you guys can always check out my last video, which is a DIY marble backdrop, and you guys can find out how I did it and what I did. And it was like a whole 2-day affair, and I needed hubby to help me figure it out because I literally did not know what I was doing. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and also while you're at it, hit the little bell button right next to it. You'll be notified of all the videos that I post every week. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I already applied moisturizer, and I used the Body Shop Seaweed Oil Control Gel Cream. This stuff is thebomb.com. And as you guys can see, my breakouts have definitely died down. They are just scars at this point. With that said, I wanted to try a new foundation. It's not exactly new because I have tried it before, but it's in a different packaging here in Australia, and I don't really know if it wears the same. The L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation, and here they call it the 24-hour matte. I'm excited to try this out. Before I put this on, I do want to put a primer, and I love this primer. I've been loving this so much. It is the Kane & Austin Prime and Protect Mattifying Primer, and I mostly concentrate this in the center of my face. I learned that when I massage it in, it really helps smooth out the pores better. I have the foundation and a beauty blender. I've already cleaned it, dampened it, and it is ready to go. Whoa! I just got a new mic, and I put a dead cat on it because I have to turn the fan on in this room because it's so hot, but I don't know if it's picking up audio correctly because I've never tried it before. I think the shade is good. It's looking washed out on the camera because of all the lighting. I have 2 lights over here and a ring light right in front of me. If you guys would like to see an updated makeup room, my filming setup, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'd love to film that for you guys. What are some good TV shows that you guys have really been into lately? I just started watching Shameless. I started watching it with Bryce, and we are hooked on it. We're only on like season 1, episode 3, but it's a really good TV show. I love it. I'll show you guys when I turn the ring light off and let it adjust. It matches. It's good. We solid. All right, I am digging it. That looks really good. It feels very like weightless on the skin, and it's not tacky. Last week I also used this new Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer, but this stuff like is way too light for my skin tone. I mean, I can give it a shot again, but with my skin being really like tan in the summer, I don't think this is gonna work out, but I'm gonna give it a shot again. I have the shade 030 Classic Beige. I believe this was the lightest that they had, and I tested the second shade and it was just too dark. I don't like that this is like really thin. I'm really used to the Tarte Shape Tape concealer being like more tacky and smoothie. This is just like so light. I feel like it doesn't do anything for my skin. Can you guys see a difference? I mean, maybe with the lighting it's like adding a glow, but that's pretty much it. I feel like it didn't actually brighten. So I did 2 layers. Let's see if 2 layers changed the game. I felt like that was a little bit better. Maybe I'll just add 1 more layer here. I feel like nothing comes up in this packaging. I might have to pull the little rubber stopper off. I am really happy with my skin. It's getting a lot better. Last week was just disastrous for my skin. It probably also doesn't help that I've had 2 summers in 2016. I felt like it kind of exposed a little bit of the skin underneath here. See, I'm telling you guys, it just like blends away. It doesn't really like cover as much. To figure out the skin situation, I'm just gonna do the NC30 Studio Finish Concealer from MAC. I said that in the completely wrong order, but Squad texting me. What up, squad? You know who you are. Yep, covered that up. I despise the stool that I'm sitting on, but this is the only thing that will get me up to level. So today I'm going to be using the Sephora Micro Smooth Baked Face Compact, and I'm in the shade medium 25. I'll be using the Morphe E3 brush. So for brows, if you guys follow me on Instagram, if you don't, I'm going to leave my handle right here. But if you guys do follow me on Instagram, then you would have seen that I am all up in the soap brow game lately. So I picked up this L'Occitane Shea Butter soap thing. I'm still looking for a container to hold it in because it's currently still sitting in its wrapper. So I picked up the Avane Eau Thermale Spring Water. So basically what I do is, instead of running my brush under water, I spray it with this. Whew. Oh, that feels so nice, like on my shoulders. It's so hot. I go into the soap and I run the spoolie in like a circular motion. And to be honest, I don't even know where I got this. There's no name on it. I'm gonna say, just going on a whim here, I'm gonna say I got it from Coastal Scents, but I could be wrong. I just brush the soap through my brows. And I always start with this brow. I don't know why. And then towards the tail, I bring them down just so all the hairs go in the same direction, go downwards, stay in place. Towards the front, I just brush them kind of upward. Bam! There you go. And to be honest, I could stop here. I really don't need to fill in my brows, but if I'm being extra, I do, which I am feeling today. You could totally do this with water. I'm not saying you can't. As I was mentioning, I'm usually really extra and like to fill in my brows, even though I don't really need to. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for blessing me with great brows. To fill in my brows, I usually use this powder from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it is in the shade medium brown. And I take this Anastasia Beverly Hills number 7 brush. I am loving this brush. And I'm going to just fill it in. I usually use the light shade in the beginning of the brow, and then I use the darker shade to define and then end the tail. Bam. Brow done. Next, same technique, other brow. I'm quiet when I do my brows because I really need to concentrate. I can't be like distracted while I'm doing my brows. Done. Bam. So if you guys are down for being extra, then you guys can carve out your brow. And I only want to do it very lightly because I went a little over. That's it. I'm done with my brows. Usually I would also set my brow, but because I use the soap already, these are not going to budge. They're not going anywhere. So we're going to leave it. I'm also going to prime my eyelids and set that with powder, and then I'm going to set my whole face. I love this primer. I used to love the Urban Decay Primer Potion, but that stuff, like, it started to crease on me, and I think my skin was getting too used to it. So I switched over to this, the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, and I love it. To apply that today, I'm just going to be using this unknown brush with no name on it. Why don't any of my brushes have names on them? Like, don't the brands want to be known? Primer done. Then I'm going to set it using the Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. Take some on the lid. Brush it. You know what I just realized? I didn't even put any of my like bronzer, blush, or highlight on yet. I did this a few videos ago, but I didn't actually post it because I was so disappointed with how it looked. But we're gonna try it again. This is the Tarte Tarteist Pro Glow palette. This cream contour was coming out way too cool on me, like almost gray. It doesn't look that color in the pan. Oh, and then I jammed my nail into the freaking highlighter and I went like crazy because I freaked out. I'm gonna use my beauty blender. Last time I used a brush, that's probably where I went wrong. So I'm just gonna dab into it using the tip of it. Whoa, okay. Do you see what I'm saying? I feel like I didn't pick up a lot of product and it's just so crazy. And then hair, and it's just not blending out very well. Maybe the trick is you have to work in like small sections, but I just feel like this isn't very creamy. It just sits and then you can't really blend it out. There's no time to actually blend it because it just settles on your skin. Now that's just the cream contour. I'm not knocking the highlighters. I haven't tried all of them yet, so I can't tell you for sure if they like are great or not, but when I did dig my finger into the highlighter, it was such an extreme highlighter. Like, it's not natural at all. There's nothing natural about it. Now I'm gonna set it using the Sculpt shade. For that, I'm gonna use the Morphe M523 brush. Ooh, are any of you guys watching The Bachelor this season? I loved The Bachelorette with JoJo. That was actually, to be completely honest, that was the only season of The Bachelorette Bachelor that I've actually watched. Then I started watching Bachelor in Paradise because I was really loving The Bachelorette. While that season was going on, I was like, oh my gosh, I would love for Luke to be the next Bachelor. I was so for it. I was like, yes, Luke. And then on Bachelor in Paradise, what's his freaking name, Nick or whatever, ends up becoming the new Bachelor. And I was like, how does it even happen? Like, it should have been Luke, okay? And so I'm like semi sort of boycotting The Bachelor this season by not watching it, by watching it, not watching it, watching it. So I have this blush from Laura Geller. It's the Baked Gelato Vivid Swirl Blush in the shade Papaya. I've never used this before. And I just apply it to the apples. So right here, and then blend it upward. Bam. Okay, highlight. The shade that I jammed my finger into was this shade called Strobe. And that was like hella intense. But just based on using that, I can assume that the rest are all hella intense too. Let's use Lit. Too much. I'm gonna layer Strobe on top of that. Okay, I was wrong. So this shade is not as intense. This one is just like hella intense. Holy hell. Do you see that? Do you see that? You see that? I could blind someone with that. And I don't normally highlight the center of my face just because I get super oily. And if I highlight my center of my face, it really accentuates the oil. Before I move on to the eyes, I'm gonna spray my face. I use the Skindinavia finishing spray, the Bridal one. For today's eyeshadow palette, I will be using the ABH Modern Renaissance palette. I literally have not played with this palette at all. This brush just fell on my lap. I probably only used it once. And everyone raves about this palette, and it's a beautiful palette, don't get me wrong, but I just haven't been drawn to it per se. And I think it's the pink shades because they kind of scare me. And so I need to step out of my comfort zone and try new things. I can't always just be like, ooh, I'm scared, I can't do it. So just do it, you know? Start off, I'm gonna take the Sigma E40 brush. I use this like brush cleaner thing, and I just, in between strokes, I clean it off. So I'm gonna start off with Raw Sienna. I'm not going into the crease because I have hooded eyelids. So I'm gonna go kind of above my crease. So that way when I open my eyes, the color appears when I open it. And always blend. Just when you think that you've blended enough, you haven't. Blend some more. But wow, okay, first impression is that these shadows are super easy to blend, but I feel like there's a lot of pigment that comes off just when you tap the brush in. So always tap off the excess so you don't get fallout. So let's go ahead and try Burnt Orange. It looks like it's just a smidge darker, just a smidge. When you're doing eye looks, you always want to start with like light colors and then build up the intensity. So layer your colors versus going straight in with like a dark color, because once you start with a dark color, you can't really erase it. Okay, repeat the process on the other eye. And then when you're doing your eye makeup, like you make your eyes like this and you're looking in the mirror, you think, oh, like this is really nice. Like I love exactly where it's placed. But then the second that you like bring your head down and you see when your eyes are like open, you'll see where the color is. And you want to make sure that that's exactly where you want it when your eyes are like this. I went a little too heavy-handed on this eye, so I think I'm just gonna have to add just a little bit more on this eye. And as you guys know, both my eyes are not like the same shape. My eyelid space is not the same on the left eye as it is on the right eye. This eye kind of goes more like this, and this one kind of goes more almond-shaped. That's okay, not everyone has perfect eyes. This is my Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette. This is my Z palette. I don't know the names of these off the top of my head, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave them down below so you guys know which shades I used. But I'm gonna use this light shade right here to highlight my brow bone. Then I'm gonna go back into the Modern Renaissance palette, And I'm going to take a more stiff brush. This is from Coastal Scents. Ah! And I'm going to jump into Cypress Umber, which is this darker brown shade right here. And I'm going to concentrate this in the crease and bring it down to the lash line. So really it's going to be like my lid shade, but like blended out. Now, because my eyes are like both different shapes, it's really hard for me to do that like winged out look with my eyeshadow. I have to keep it really like circle shaped, and even that's why like winged eyeliner is really hard for me to achieve. So I'm keeping it very like circular shaped. Then I'm gonna take this Sigma brush again, the E40, clean it off. You don't want any product on this because you're just gonna be blending out harsh lines. Go ahead and take this shade right here. I don't know what it is, but I'll leave it down below. And I do this like wiggling motion. Then I'm going to take this Sigma E36 brush and I'm just going to lightly blend the edges of that liner that I set down. Then repeat the process. To highlight the inner corners of my eye, I'm going to take Vermeer. Wow, wow, super pigmented, guys, super pigmented. Blend that into your shade. Okay, I think I done f***ed that up. Okay, when you f*** stuff up like this, aka just now, to properly blend out the shadows, I'm gonna have to add a shimmer onto my eyes. And keeping with the warm tones, I'm going to take this shade right here, blend it on. Blend out the edges. I'm not going to apply any false lashes today. I'm just going to apply mascara. And if you guys saw my lash lift video, then you'll know that I actually tried this mascara out for the first time, the Tarteist mascara. And after a few days of just like trying it out, I actually really like this mascara. Before it sets, just brush it through. And yes, this is the same spoolie that I used for my eyebrows. I cleaned it off, don't worry. Yas, child, yas! Okay, then I'm gonna take this Morphe G28 brush. I'm gonna go back into that dark brown that I used to line my upper lash line. Then I'm gonna line my lower lash line. I'll take raw sienna and run that underneath the lash line. Oh my gosh, this is super pigmented. Holy cow. So I'm going to apply lower lash mascara, and for that I always use my Clinique one. Eyes are done. Now I'm going to do my lips. So originally I was going to go with a Dose of Colors liquid lipstick, but I think I'm going to try this one instead. This is Jouer's Noisette. And I'm going to line my lips with the Huda Beauty Lip Contour in Trendsetter. This lip liner is super creamy. To be honest, I'm not used to it. I like more drier lip liners because I feel like they're easier to trace your lip line. Here's the finished look, and I had so much fun creating this. I love just having no instruction, just kind of playing with new products, figuring out how they work. Alright guys, so that concludes today's video. If you guys haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And if you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to leave me a comment down below. And that's all that I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!